Today, the American Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, holds the press conference he promised. And the plan has a name before it has details. He calls it the greatest coordinated economic isolation in the history of the world. He has already told a broadcaster what it is for. In his own words, "We are going to collapse this regime." And to every country still trading with Iran, he said this: "If you insist on doing business with them, transferring money, buying their oil, then the United States Treasury will put its full might and force towards enforcing against you." Tehran's answer was 4 words: "We know this movie." They are right, and that is the problem. So tonight, one question. What happens when the most crushing economic operation ever announced is the second one this year? Here is what it costs while we find out. In the 12 months to February, the price of basic necessities in Iran rose about 60% and food prices doubled. Fewer than 20 ships crossed the Strait of Hormuz across the whole weekend. American drivers are still paying the most expensive August on record, $4.06 a gallon. That is the meter, and it runs on both sides of this war. Now here is the part today's announcement did not mention. In April, after it became clear the bombing had not toppled the government and had not produced a surrender, this same administration launched what it called Operation Economic Fury. Sanctions on foreign banks and firms dealing with Tehran, plus a naval blockade to stop Iranian exports. That was 4 months ago. The regime is still there. Today's plan is the same instrument, announced with a bigger adjective. And then there is June. In June, the two sides signed a memorandum that included a clause committing the United States to terminate all types of sanctions against Iran on an agreed schedule. 10 weeks later, the same government promises the greatest economic isolation in history. The signature and the siege came off the same desk in the same season. When Tehran says it has seen this movie, it is not being clever. It is reading Washington's own filing cabinet. Watch what the markets did. Because money is the least sentimental witness in this story. Iran threatened to halt all oil exports through the strait. That is the maximum threat it has, the one it has held in reserve for 6 months. Oil prices dipped. Not spiked, dipped. Because when fewer than 20 ships crossed all weekend, a threat to stop the traffic is a threat to stop something that has already stopped. Tehran's biggest weapon has been devalued by its own blockade, and the traders priced that an afternoon. The same coldness cuts the other way. The dollar slid this week as the sanctions news landed alongside America's own bond buybacks, and Gulf states are now in talks about state-backed war insurance because commercial cover has become too expensive to buy. Read those two facts together. The cost of this campaign is no longer only Iranian. It is showing up in the currency of the country running it, and in the insurance bills of the allies being asked to join. Tehran gets no free pass here, and it has earned none. Its own central bank governor insists hyperinflation has not happened. A leading economist in Tehran says it already has. Reporting from inside the country notes the shelves tell the same story regardless of which man is right. And this is a government that answers that argument by arresting the people who make it. Its military spokesmen say they have scenarios prepared for every hostile American action. Scenarios are cheap. The Islamic Republic is not defending its people from this siege. It is defending its position inside it. Because the people in this story were losing before the sanctions were announced. Necessities up 60% in a year, food doubled, and protests earlier this year driven by exactly that, with Iranians blaming their own government for it. The American president told those demonstrators that help was on the way and urged them to keep protesting. What arrived was a war, a blockade, and now the greatest economic isolation in history. Whatever help meant, this was not it. And the regime's answer to its own hungry population has not changed either. This week it executed a man it accused of helping the United States and Israel during those protests. That is what both of these strategies have in common, and it is the only thing this desk asks you to hold on to. One government is squeezing a population it cannot reach, and the other is hanging the part of that population that speaks. Scoreboard, in public as always. We said the strait would not return to normal traffic, and nobody in Tehran would sign a public reopening. Fewer than 20 ships in a weekend, and a fresh threat to close it completely. That call is holding. The historical twin for this one is not from a history book. It is 4 months old. April's Operation Economic Fury was launched for the same stated reason, against the same government, by the same officials, and its result is the reason today's press conference had to happen at all. Where the twin misleads, today's version is genuinely bigger, aimed at third countries rather than only at Iranian entities, so it will bite harder. That is not an argument that it works. It is an argument that more people will feel it, most of them in a queue in Tehran rather than an office in the capital. Bottom line, this war continues, and it has become a siege that both governments now need for domestic reasons. Our call is that by the 24th of September, the Iranian government will still be standing. The strait will still not carry normal traffic, and no signed settlement lifting these sanctions will exist. If the government falls, or a signature appears, we were wrong, and we will say so on camera. Before you go, the people whose food doubled in price did not choose the nuclear program, the blockade, or the press conference. So watch 3 things with us. What the Treasury actually names today, rather than what it calls itself. Whether any allied government publicly signs up to enforce it. And the price of bread in Iranian cities. Because that is the only number in this war that measures the people, rather than the states. If this breakdown helped you see the week clearly, hit like. It is free, and it tells us to keep drawing the board. And subscribe, because the board moves every day, so you catch the pieces before they move.